Are we going? I think we're going. But the thing still says 2 minutes. So I'm gonna refresh. I don't know if we're going right now. I don't know if we're going right now, guys. So I'm just gonna start talking. Okay, we're going. I see myself in the window. Hi! How are all of you? Third time doing this, and it's still really confusing to start. Why can't they just have a format that's like blog TV, where it's all on YouTube instead of like this pop-up, oh, you're on Google Plus, but you're on YouTube, and if you want to read the comments, you got to look at YouTube, but if you want to see how you look in the actual broadcast, you got to look at Google Plus. It's a really confusing situation, but hi, how are all of you? 30,000 subscribers. You guys are mad. I am so happy that we've made it this far. I'm going to post this AMA on Facebook before I forget. It's super effective. Guys, we are live. That says live. Don't like the post. Okay, so let's see if you guys are posting any questions. Hi, hello, hi Faust, remember me, Tim? Yes, if that makes you happy. No, I remember you. I remember the pictures. I'm very bad with names, but I remember pictures. I remember your picture. So that was an interesting first question. Questions. Send them in, guys. I need them. I have a mighty need. Let's refresh the page. See if you guys. Questions, guys. Hi, everyone. Hi, hello. Oh, we've got a. Okay, I was just checking to see something on Facebook because it posts. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I've paused. So because I have to look at Google Plus, I let the YouTube thing play, but I have paused it, and I've literally paused it at a point where my face is going. Okay, let's refresh the YouTube thing again so I don't have to look at that mug. Hi Faust, what's your opinion on the current Spider-Man comics? You mean the Spider-Man, because I don't read Ultimate Spider-Man. I haven't got anything against it, I just never got into it. But as in The Amazing Spider-Man, the new run on The Amazing Spider-Man, really liking it, really funny. You know, action is a bit subpar, but other than that, it's funny, it's lighthearted, it's Spider-Man. You know, like people either love Spider-Man or hate Spider-Man or just think Spider-Man's Spider-Man, and I just think he's Spider-Man. You know, he's always been there though, mostly. Other than that 2 years where he wasn't, but was it 3 years? Why did you choose to dye your hair blue and pink? It's blue and red, and Harley Quinn is why I chose to dye my hair these colors. I saw Harley Quinn have these colors in Suicide Squad, and I was like, oh, I really want that. But at the time, my hair was so damaged. If I bleached it anymore, it was just going to fall out, and I'd have to regrow it all again. And I don't like having short hair. But eventually I did just have to cut it really short and just let it grow naturally, have virgin hair for a while, and then I bleached it, and now it's like this. and it's in very good condition because I don't bleach it as much as I used to. I used to just like get bored and like, let's do my roots. But now I am very good. I keep my hair nice and healthy. I don't use too much heat on it. I've got some straighteners that are specifically made for bleached hair. So, because my hair is not naturally straight. It's not naturally curly or anything. It's just like wavy. What did I think of Rise of the Magi? I haven't had a chance to read it yet. I've been so busy. I've been so busy trying to keep up with like the fictional universe stuff that I haven't had a chance to read any of the indie stuff, which sucks. Super Razor 89 says, "I'm assuming you have cosplayed before. Who was your first cosplay? Who was your first cosplay as for your first time?" I cosplayed for my first time Len Kagamine in 2008, 9, 10. It was a weird year, but it was an eBay cosplay when people thought that that was a good idea, and yeah, it was bad. I don't have any pictures from it. It was bad. I didn't bother with a wig, so I had like black hair. The cosplay didn't fit me properly because whoever made it just kind of saw my size and went, "No, they have to be fat," and made it like 3 sizes too big. It was awful. Who is my favorite Teen Titan? Well, like my favorite character from the whole DC universe is Tim Drake. He's like really what I aspire to be like. But out of the whole Teen Titans from start to finish, I like Power Boy. I think he's a bit of an interesting character. I like the idea of Denny the Street now that he's technically a part of the Teen Titans. I think it's like a really quirky concept, very, very interesting. Really enjoy it. I can't pick just one. You know, when people say to you, "Who's your favorite Teen Titans?" They're talking about the TV show normally, and you know, I like all the Teen Titans that appeared in the TV show, but none of them are my favorite. You know? It's a bit weird. Like, that was a team of the Teen Titans, and it didn't last as long as people seem to remember. They've just kind of been immortalized through that TV show, which is nice, because they're all good characters, don't get me wrong. They're all very, very good characters. It's just that, you know, none of them are my favorite. What are my thoughts on Future's End at the moment? I'm not really enjoying Future's End, if that makes sense. You know, I found out it was set 5 years in the future, which made me a bit, But then I started to read it, and there's no soul to it. And the whole thing just feels like, so what? You know, which is why I'm not doing the recaps of it. So, like, the whole thing, for me, is just, so what? I'm still getting it. I'm going to get up to issue 20, I think I told myself, because it is a weekly series, so you give myself a little bit longer. I think I'm going to get up to issue 20, and if by then I still feel like there's no soul, and it's just whatever, then I'm just going to stop reading it. Are you being recognized where you live based on your channel? No, I have not been recognized in the streets yet. I was once recognized when I was in America last year, before I started this channel, when I used to only upload stuff daily to my Fels Coif channel, but like everything on there is in private now because all of it was pretty bad. I was recognized once while I was peeing in a urinal. And that was back when my social anxiety disorder was really bad. So I didn't finish peeing, I just kind of stopped and put everything away and walked out and went to, you know, the people that I was with and told them about everything. They're like, "Well, did you finish peeing?" I was like, "No, can we just go home?" Are you going to watch Persona 4 Golden, the animation? I already watched episode 1. I think it's very nice. It's definitely, I don't get why people are complaining about it when it's blatantly supposed to be the new game plus. I don't get why people are complaining about it at all. What do I think of the Sandman series? I really like Sandman. I love Sandman. Yeah. Yeah, I like Sandman a lot. If I had to choose between Harley Quinn and the Teen Titans, who would I pick? Uh, okay, guys, we need to stop with this Teen Titans thing. It's the Titans. Seriously. It's not that hard. You just drop the teen and replace it with a the. 'Cause I love the Titans. It's not like the Teen Titans are any better than the Titans or the Teen Titan. You know, it's the Titans. It's not that hard of a concept to get a grasp of. Yes, there was a cartoon about the Teen Titans, blah, 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 and all of that horse shit. I don't care. It's the Titans. The best run on the Titans have always been the Titans. So if I had to choose between Harley Quinn and the Titans, it would be the Titans. If I could punch anyone in your fave comic book, who would you and why? I'm a pacifist. Yeah, I wouldn't punch anyone. I'm actually a pacifist. Sometimes I do get frustrated and like saying to characters like to the page, "Why aren't you punching them? Why aren't you punching them?" But no, I'm a pacifist. So, do I like pancakes? It depends. I don't like American pancakes. I like Scottish pancakes. Um, yeah, yeah. Who's my favorite young Avenger? Wiccan. What the Wiccan. I just identify with him so much. Like, if we put it like this, Tim Drake is who I aspire to be like. Wiccan is who I see myself as. Obviously, there's like some personality differences, but I always say if they were to make a Young Avengers movie, I would do everything that I could to get to be audition for Wiccan. For all of you that don't know, I'm a fully trained actor. Before I was doing YouTube, I was before I was able to do YouTube full time, I've been doing voiceover since I was about 13. I'm fully trained in improv. I actually specialize in improvisation. So I would do everything that I could to audition for Wiccan. I think I identify with that character so much that in my eyes, no one else could do him justice. But that's also a dangerous thing because as a writer, I know I'd never be able to write Wiccan because it would be like writing myself. And because of that, I'd only want to show the best parts of myself, you know? Like every writer, if they have to write themselves, they only write the best parts of themselves, which makes for a very boring read. So I could never write the Young Avengers. Do I ever think Marvel will make a Young Avengers cartoon? I hope not. Oh my God, we got so many questions at once. Okay, scroll up. It like just suddenly went boom like that from not moving for a while. So okay. Who's my favorite writer in DC right now? Whenever Grant Morrison is at the moment. Is he doing anything at the moment? I feel like he is. Grant Morrison, I live near him. Like, near relative to if I lived in America. I'm never more than 500 miles away from Grant Morrison. Unless he's in America. Do I like Avatar: The Last Airbender? Yes, but I don't like Legend of Korra. Who is my second favorite Robin? Dick Grayson, Damian Wayne. It's tied with... No, because I really like Stephanie Brown. Don't make me answer that one. Because it could only be a three-way tie between Dick Grayson, Damian Wayne, and Stephanie Brown. Do I have a favorite Vocaloid? I really like Mako. I like the original Vocaloids because they were around on kind of like the birth of the anime scene on the internet, which I was very much about for. So I kind of remember the birth of the Vocaloid craze. So yeah. Also, guys, remember you can tweet me questions and you can Facebook message me questions, but I'd rather you tweet them and hashtag it something like don't hashtag it, just tweet it at me. Are you ever going to do a video on over justice from the New Warriors? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a big New Warriors fan. Where's the best place to start reading comics if you want to start with the Teen Titans? Like I always say, just jump in. Like, where is the best place to start is an expensive question, first off. Just start reading with whatever's on the shelf. Don't think, oh, I want to read this specific title with these specific characters. Just go to your comic book shop, see what's on the shelf, and go for it from there. Don't think of anything else. If anything else comes out that you'd be particularly interested in, that's a bonus. But just stick to what's going on at the moment. You don't need to be reading stuff from the past, honestly. You will get confused. That's what this channel is for, to kind of, clear up some foggy stuff about the past, any things that you might have heard about the past, and just kind of give it a bit more depth. But if you want to start reading comics, go with what's current, and then go back. Are you looking forward to Hyrule Warriors? No. And Zelda U? Yes. I'm not looking forward to Hyrule Warriors because I don't like Dynasty Warriors, and I didn't like the One Piece Pirate Warriors game, so I don't know. I'll probably get Hyrule Warriors to give it a fair chance, but if I really don't like it, I don't like it. What do you think of the current run of the Deadpool versus comics? I don't read Deadpool comics anymore. Your hair's getting quite long. You consider getting a haircut. You considered shutting the fuck up. I'm kidding, but seriously. What do you think of Marvel's decision to kill off Wolverine? Give it 2 years, he'll be back. I really don't care if characters are killed off these days. It really doesn't mean anything. Do I still have a flute? Oh, someone's seen my old videos. Yeah, my flute is somewhere down there. I can't play it. Thank you. I can't believe I already have 30k. If you could write the show/movie of Young Justice, who would I include? Honestly, I would use the team that was from the Young Justice comics out of respect for the source material, and I would make it slightly more adult. Actually, I would I would definitely put into that point of teenage years where you're mentally ready to be an adult, but physically you are not an adult, and physically you're still very hormonal, and you can't. There's that weird separation of body and mind where the two of them aren't really working together anymore, and you kind of do actions based upon that. And that's kind of where I would write Young Justice with the original cast, who are far more interesting than the cast that was used in the cartoon. Sorry about it, but scrolling up because I'm getting a lot of questions. Who's my favorite Persona character? Kanji, because he's big and gay. What are your thoughts on the new Teen Titans that will start this year? I just want it to be good. I was going to go into it not feeling anything whatsoever, not having any opinions, but, I've got such a strong connection with the Titans that I can't not feel anything. Like, the Titans are, everyone's got their big thing. Like, Amy Dallin, Comic Book Girl 19, have the X-Men. Variant Comics has probably got his thing. I don't know. I don't watch his channel. or any channels that are run by a business rather than an individual. But other than Polaris, because that started from an individual, and Geek and Sundry, because that started from an individual as well. But no, you know, the Titans are just my thing. I can't not have any hopes for it to be amazing. That being said, I'm very, very scared, because if it's not amazing, then I'm going to cry. Yeah. What is a current comic book series that you would recommend to someone starting to read comics that's fairly self-contained, so as to teach you? You know, Harley Quinn is definitely the best newcomer-friendly series. It's very self-contained, like very, very self-contained. She's off on her own. The only other characters that we've really seen is Poison Ivy, and everyone knows that Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn are friends. You don't need to read comics to know that. What's your opinion on Deathstroke joining the Suicide Squad? Like it? And him getting his own comic series? Well, he had his own comic series at the beginning of the New 52, and it was shit. I think I don't know. It ended. Did he have his own comic book series at the beginning of the New 52? I don't know. Oh, I'm confused now. I just know that Deathstroke isn't a character that can function on his own. That's like, he's got this mystique about him that you shouldn't put him as the star of a series. You should have him on a team or as a villain, but never as like, this is everything you need to know about Deathstroke. Go. Hi, which character do you think can take on Superman besides Batman? This includes anime. Well, you know, I'm not a big fan of crossing universes. I'll just say that off from now. But if I had to cross universes, let's say one character from a different universe, Sailor Moon is possibly the most powerful character to ever come out of any anime. And I'll tell you why. Because I know a lot of you are going, really, Sailor Moon? She is the physical embodiment of the goddess of the entire universe, meaning that when she dies, and this was said by the creator of Sailor Moon, when she dies, rather than her soul seed going to the cauldron of soul seeds, she will literally become a goddess. And she is descended from the goddess that gave birth to the universe. Meaning Sailor Moon is the most powerful thing ever. So she could take out Superman. Then if it's self-contained between DC Universe, really depends who's writing, honestly. You know, if you're going to write Superman in certain ways, he's going to come across as very weak. Like, you could easily write Zatanna as beating Superman. You could easily write John Constantine beating Superman. You could write pretty much Robin beating Superman. Anyone. You know, just let your imagination run wild and don't be so limited to, it's Superman. No one can beat him. It's very hard to beat him. It's Superman. You know, let your imagination run wild. And rather than, I'm not saying we have to bring Superman down for other writers, but writers can do things that can bring other characters up. And, you know, experiment like that. I'm happy I got you into comics. Man, you're the first person that I've seen. Wow. Purely based on your looks. You must be an interesting person. What do you think of the Grayson title? I read the first issue. It was bad. You know, there is already plot holes developing. Yeah. Do you watch Orange is the New Black? No. I know I should, because I've been told I would really love it. But I don't have time. Actually, no, that being said, I do take breaks while I'm eating, but I usually just watch reruns of RuPaul's Drag Race. Yes, I have seen the Mega Metacross. And I think that was a missed opportunity by not calling him Mega Gross. How do you bleach your hair safely? I will let you know when I figure it out. No. No, honestly, I've been bleaching my hair since I was about 14, so it has been a big trial and error thing. I use 30 to 40 volt peroxide because I have very, very dark hair naturally. Um, you know, I so, but once all my bleach is mixed, I water it down a little bit, and that way, not only do I have more than enough to cover all of my hair, but no, it's not as dangerous and it's a lot easier on my hair. Do you think we'll ever know who the Joker was before becoming Joker? No. And if you could write his origin story, how would it be? I wouldn't. Yeah. You shouldn't. The thing that makes the Joker scary is we don't know who he is or why he's doing what he's doing. You know, he has got this. He does have these feelings for Batman that are very apparent. That are they're like insane homosexual love. Like that is how the Joker feels towards Batman. Like you can't deny it. If you've read Death of the Family, you just cannot deny that he physically wants Batman, but he doesn't want anyone else to need Batman. And it's like this weird thing. But no, that what makes the Joker scary is that we don't know why he feels like that, where he came from, or anything. We've had hints to about 10 different people as to who he could be, but even then, they're just hints, and all of those could be wrong. And that's what makes the Joker scary. We don't know where he came from, why he's doing what he's doing. We just know that you do not mess with him. What universe would you rather live in? DC, because it's easier to learn how to do magic. Will you review a Constantine TV show? No, because I'm not going to watch it. What's on your t-shirt? It's Jiraiya. This is usually my hair dye t-shirt, but it was the only clean t-shirt I had today. Do I read manga? I used to. If so, what do you read? The last series that I read was Kazumi Magica. Yeah. Do I think there'll ever be another generation of cartoons from both Marvel and DC that are better than all the animated series that were out in the 90s? If you look back at 90s cartoons, they're not as good as people remember them. You know, I like 90s cartoons quite a bit because obviously I was brought up with them, but I think a lot of people look back on them with nostalgia glasses. Yeah, I'm a big costume person. There weren't many good costumes back in 90s cartoons. That being said, writing-wise, 90s was definitely very strong in their cartoons. So I don't think it'll be hard for us to have another generation with as strong writing as the 90s. It will just be like mastering that charm of nostalgia that 90s cartoons do have, because you know we could have easily forgotten them, but we didn't. So we just need, what was it that made them so charming that made us not forget them? I've already answered who my favorite Titan is. Would you like to write for DC Comics but be based in the future? It's like a future where no, I don't want. When I eventually get to write for DC Comics, I'm saying when, because it will happen, I don't want to do any possible future stuff. I personally don't want to be writing any multiverse stuff. I want to be writing stuff that's current, that matters, that affects the main continuity, or that's going on alongside the main continuity. I don't want any stuff that's not going to matter 5 years down the line. Who is the Flash in the New 52? It's Barry Allen. What are my thoughts on him? He's Barry Allen. He's the same that he's always been. I don't. I don't know. Flash is like one of those series that I get a lot of comics, and then just kind of read through it. Do you like any Image comic titles? Love Sex Criminals. So yeah. Are you caught up with Naruto, Bleach, or One Piece? I hate Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. So no. Do I like to cosplay? I've got a whole series dedicated to cosplay coming out called Becoming Robin. That starts in October, guys. But if you want 1 month early access, donate at least $1 to my Patreon. Do I like the Harry Potter books or movies? Yes. I don't like the earlier movies. I liked them when I was young, but I don't like them now. What do I think of Flash and the CW? I think that show is going to be god-awful. I hate Arrow as it is. I know a lot of people like Arrow, but look at that Flash costume. There is no understanding of the Flash as a character. You can just tell that from the costume. So that show is just going to be a soulless piece of trash. It's going to burn up. And even if it doesn't burn up, I know I'm not going to like it, so it's going to burn up on a personal level for me. So yeah. Hey, I'm writing a comic in a supernatural style. What should I do to make it more dark and scary, but keep this? If you're having to force making anything dark, then it won't be good as dark. That's kind of the truth. You know, dark things come from a place within you, like truly good dark media, truly good dark stories that are remembered aren't just, oh, I have an idea for a dark story. They're always, you know, a form of expression, a form of artistic expression. You're not gonna just write, oh, this is a good dark thing. You're gonna write, I don't know, something that's heavy from inside of yourself, something that affected you. The only way for you to move on is to project it onto paper. You know, that's why depressive people usually turn out to be creatives in the end, because there is so much going on inside of them that they have to express it out. So, like I said, if you're having to force it being dark, don't make it dark. If there is a Teen Titans movie, which I believe there is, oh god, I hope not. Which plotline would it be? Trigon or Deathstroke or something else? Thanks, and you are awesome. They would probably go with the Judas Contract to begin with, and then they'd go with Trigon. Because the Judas Contract could be done on a relatively low budget, but could still be blockbuster level in terms of story. And then if it's successful, they would have the budget to do something with Trigon. That being said, I can't imagine the Teen Titans in live action. I don't think that that chemistry would translate onto screen at all. I don't see it working at all. Like, most of the DC universe doesn't work in live action. That's just my opinion. I think, you know, a lot of their cartoons are great, but, you know, a lot of the DC universe just doesn't work in live action. They don't need to force it. Do I wear contacts? No. No, I don't wear contacts. What's the most successful comic to movie adaptation? Probably The Avengers, but, you know, The Avengers was good, was very, very good for a superhero movie, but it wasn't good for a movie. Like, it was a good movie, but it wasn't an amazing movie, but it was an amazing superhero movie. But if you put it into standard, you know, if you put it into standard compared to everything else it like to have ever been done, it's alright. It's not the best thing ever. So, I don't know. I like The Avengers. I think it's a bit of fun, but I don't know is the answer to that. Are you excited for Batman vs Superman? Almost as much as I'd be excited to have acupuncture. How do you think the Batman comics would have been if the Joker had never killed Jason? I can't even imagine that. No, the Joker had to kill Jason for there to be a Tim Drake, and for there to be me right here, right now, there had to have been a Tim Drake, so... If you were to have a mentor from DC and Marvel, who would you choose? Tim Drake. I've already answered a question about Persona 4 Gold in the animation, episode 1. What is the best piece of writing I have ever read? That opinion changes on a daily basis, because I read a lot. I literally can't. At the moment, I'm really feeling Super Gods by Grant Morrison. Like, Grant Morrison's my favorite writer, so... I can't believe I'm still getting questions that are like, are you okay? I've been on YouTube since November, guys. Seriously. I have questions in a lot of my videos. In the DC universe, which would you put the 5 most powerful characters? 5 most powerful isn't a thing. It depends on who's writing, what happens to the characters when they're writing, and stuff like that. Do you like the new 52 Joker's daughter? Do you mean, like, that would be Dula Dent? And I've always liked Dula Dent. I think she's a lot of fun. A bit dark now. Like, a lot dark compared to how she used to be. But, you know, she's still a lot of fun. She's Dula Dent. You can't hate her. What do you believe makes a good three-dimensional character? A character written as a person. This goes for male and female. Like, if you're writing, say like you're writing a female and you're writing her as a strong, independent woman, then that's going to be two-dimensional. But take Katniss from the Hunger Games. She was just written as another person. Her gender didn't matter. She's a very good three-dimensional character, which is rare to see as a lead character, actually. So, you know, you just write characters as people. Don't think they're a superhero, so da-da-da. Just write a character as a person, then imagine that they've got this thing has affected them, be it powers, be it an event that's spiraled them into becoming a hero, and how does their mind work? Think about how their mind works, and, you know. Why does everyone but me love the new Batgirl look? Do you like it? I don't like they're taking it out of Gotham. Why? What's wrong with taking things out of Gotham? I love the Batgirl look. It reminds me of Stephanie, and I love Stephanie. So, do you like the Transformers comics? I don't like Transformers at all. Do I read the Fables by Vertigo? I get it, and I forget to read it. I'm so far behind that I'm like, In Future's End, Harley cover Joker's face bag. Do you have any theories about how it seemingly becomes perfectly reattached? A sewing machine. Have I seen the anime When They Cry / Higurashi? Yes, I have seen Higurashi no Nakokoroni, and when I was learning how to read Japanese, I played the visual novel, so that was fun. I don't own any Catwoman graphic novels. If you mean trade paperbacks, I don't get trades. I get monthlies. Thoughts on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Never been into the Turtles. Not gonna lie, but though that live-action movie trailer was terrifying, even I'm not a Turtles fan, but even I know that their faces shouldn't look like that. So yeah. What hero's death hurt you the most when you read it? Stephanie Brown. I still cry whenever I read her death. Can I do a Deadpool video? I need to start making them. Okay, guys. I'm gonna say this again, and I say this a lot. I am not doing any videos on A-list characters until my Patreon is fully funded to that goal. The goal is currently $1,700 because A-list characters deserve something bigger and better than what I can currently give them. I answer that question a lot, so no, I'm not going to be making a Deadpool video anytime soon because we're not near that goal. I'm sorry I'm seeming very frank, but I really don't like answering the same questions a million times. I really need to make like an FAQ or something. What's your opinion on the debates whether or not Damien should be revived or stay dead? I like Damien, so I want him to be revived. I can't see anything. I can't understand how it would benefit anyone if he stayed dead. Do you think the Joker needs Harley more than she needs him? Oh, definitely in this new continuity. Harley's doing great without the Joker. What's the best Titan story arc? Judas Contract. What's your opinion on the Night of Owl storyline? It was there. How will DC explain Beast Boy's skin changing from red to green? No idea. Have you seen the Halle Berry Catwoman movie? Yes. And do you think it was too sexualized? No, but Halle Berry doesn't... Like, don't come to me asking if stuff is too sexualized because I literally do not care about that stuff at all. What I will say is it was just badly written. But I don't care if something is over-sexualized. I think we should sexualize everything so sexuality becomes a normal thing. I don't know. Is it creepy that I am subscribed to all of your channels? No! Do you watch all of my videos? Was Raven as sarcastic in the comics as in the show, or did you prefer Slade as more of an evil mastermind in the show? Raven has never been all that sarcastic. I guess she was a little bit sarcastic, but, you know, she wasn't... The show used archetypes instead of the actual characters, but then modeled them around the existing characters, if that makes sense. Which wasn't bad, it worked for what they were doing, but I just prefer the comics overall. I think the Titans comics are far superior to the cartoon. Plus, they stated they were taking Batwoman out. Batgirl is my favorite character, and I like that she holds her own against Batman and helps him. Plus, they stated they're taking her out of Gotham to make the story lighter, which I feel will be hard. Not at all. Batgirl definitely lends herself to light stories. She's just that kind of character. Are you a Deadpool fan? No. I don't mind Deadpool, I just don't like the fan base around him, because everyone's like, oh, I love Deadpool. Oh, cool. What's your favorite comics of his? Deadpool. Oh, well, what do you like about his character? He's funny. Yeah, but what else? He's funny. Have you ever read a Deadpool comic? No, but I saw this video on the internet. Okay, I'm done right there. No, was Kitty Pryde always able to send people back to the past like an X-Men Days of Future Past movie? No. No, she was not. That is not her power at all. She has never done that in the comics. I don't know where the movie got that from. It would just made so much more sense to have Rachel Summers than for them to quickly explain who Rachel Summers was, and then they go into the new continuity, and they could just have I can't spoilers, but would you have Raven's powers or Starfire's? Starfire's, because Raven's powers mean having to control my emotions constantly. I don't like doing that. Does Death have a good side? Death only has a good side. Do you know the character you're talking about? Death is an amazing character. Wait, you only have this channel, right? Right? No, I have Ibrahim Niaz. I hope that's how I pronounce your name. I have a gaming channel, which is youtube.com/rather-effective, or it's rather effective, I'm not sure. And I have Faust Quave, which is youtube.com/rhythmbeatfaust. But don't subscribe to Rhythm Beat Faust because I don't upload on there anymore. I might, because that is somewhat linked to an announcement I'm making on Wednesday. But I can't talk about that announcement now. Have you seen Black Butler? Yeah, I used to run an abridged series on Black Butler, actually. That was the first major thing I did on YouTube. The abridged series channel got 5,000 subscribers, and then YouTube shut us down. So, who would win? Who would win in a fight, the Titans or the X-Men, and why? My money is on the X-Men. Why would they be fighting? I don't understand questions like this. I don't. I'm sorry, why would they be fighting? They're both good people. Why would they fight? Why? Why is that a thought that would go through your mind when they're both two groups that are just out to do good for the sake of doing good? They've got nothing to gain out of it other than the X-Men have, their equality to gain, but even then they help people for the sake of helping people all the goddamn time. So why would they be fighting? Did you ever read the Jubilee 6-issue series? Yeah, I did. Oh god, how long ago was that? That was years ago. Most of my friends don't really favor Green Lantern. What do you think of him? I like all the Green Lanterns. I think they're interesting characters. I think it's very much an interesting concept. Have a drink. Do you watch Adventure Time? Sometimes. And if so, do you think the main characters will meet their gender swap characters? No, because anyone meeting fan fiction of themselves is bad. Do you think they will fuck up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? It's being made by Michael Bay. That should say everything. Aquaman doesn't get much attention. What do you think about him and his comics? Aquaman is insanely powerful, and he gets quite a lot of attention because he has his own comic. Like, he has his own title comic, I've Got Something in My Eye. So he gets enough attention. I like him. I think he's a really cool character. What did you think about people's reaction to the new Harley? I happen to love all the incarnations of Harley, but people seem to hate her. P.S. I know you love her. Yeah, I love Harley. I modeled my hair after her. People's reaction to the new Harley, Harley and the Suicide Squad was violently insane. People didn't take to that, but when the Harley Quinn comic came out, she was cute and loopy as a box of frogs again. So people liked that. Do I watch Sword Art Online? No, I didn't enjoy it, but it is pretty. Which Robin is the most like Batman? Carrie Kelly. Or Damian. Probably more so Carrie Kelly, though. Would you like to see a Joker movie? Hell no. Or a Harley Quinn movie? No. Maybe a Harley Quinn animated sitcom, but not a Harley Quinn movie. I was wondering what happened to Dick Grayson's daughter, Rachel Grayson. Did they ever use her in the new story? Who the hell is Rachel Grayson? Oh, she's from Earth 3. No wonder why I've never heard of her. She's from Earth 3. She doesn't... Yeah. She doesn't matter. And she's his sister. Okay. Yeah. She don't matter. She's from part of the multiverse. She's not from the main continuity. What is your name? My name is Faust, and it is super effective. Do you have recommendations for a Tim Drake story? Yeah. It's this run on a Robin series that lasted from 1993 till 2011. Like, all of it. It's really good. Like that's the longest running series that I've ever got from start to finish. You know, obviously as I was growing up I didn't have some of the ones, but I've bought them over the years and now I've just got it all. It's really good. Have you ever watched the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show? Yeah, I didn't like it. What do you think of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie? Haven't seen it yet. Have I read Grayson #1 yet? Yep. I did read Grayson #1. Do you like the new costume of Nightwing? Do you mean old costume now? And it's the same as his old one. It's just red and tighter fitting. You know, you can't mess up Nightwing so long as you get his perfectly sculpted butt. But that is the one thing for Nightwing that you must always have. I don't really understand Wonder Woman's relationship with the men of DC. Is she with Batman or Superman? She's with no one. She's Wonder Woman. Why can't Wonder Woman be independent? She's got this romantic thing going on with Superman, now that I've said that. Well, why can't she be independent? You know, have you ever seen any fan fiction of yourself? Is there fan fiction of me? Is there? I kind of want to say send it to me, but at the same time I would be too scared. Do you like PewDiePie? I don't watch PewDiePie. No. I've seen some of his videos and he's never done anything that I haven't liked. I just, you know, don't watch him. Who is my favorite band? Band? Oh. If we're talking... No, because they're a group. Group-wise, I really like 21. But... band-wise, Nightwish, when Tarja was still with them. What superhero is the most sexy? Nightwing. Is there a way to hang up comic books tastefully? I'm moving into my house and I was just wondering if that's too geeky. No, it's not too geeky. As you can see, I have comics right behind me, all on a shelf. It's going good, Earthwolf. I'm a bit on edge today. As you may have noticed. I've just got like a lot of stuff going on, so I'm very stressed. So I'm sorry if I'm coming across really short with you guys in this live stream. I've just got so much going on. I'm, you know, preparing for becoming Robin, all stuff like that. So, what sort of A-list characters are you holding off on doing? Yeah. Batman, Superman. Yeah, Batman, Superman, Deadpool. All of the X-Men that you guys have ever suggested. Yeah, there was this guy. I'm sorry if you're watching. I know you said you unliked me on Facebook, so I doubt that you've managed to find this live stream. But if you did find it, I'm sorry. There was this guy that was spamming on most of my videos and most of my Facebook posts that he wanted me to do Bobby from the X-Men, Iceman, and Sunspot, who isn't from the X-Men, I don't think. I don't know. That's gonna bother me now. I know I like the character a lot though. Yeah, and they were just spamming it everywhere, and I had to say to them, look, I'm holding off on doing A-list characters, please just stop spamming it. And they're like, well, you told me off, so I'm gonna dislike you on Facebook. And I was like, yeah, let me help you, ban. I've just been so short recently. But, you know, someone's gonna say, I'm gonna unlike you out of spite. Let me help. Hope you're packed. I thought that you should do a collab with PewDiePie and his name is Felix and yours is Faust. Or is that too obvious? I hadn't even thought about that. You spam PewDiePie with, you should do collabs with Faust. He's only in Sweden. I'm kidding. Don't do that, that would be mean. Have you seen Naruto? I have seen Naruto and I don't like it. Why do you think people should get into e-comics as a last resort? Because e-comics don't replicate that feeling of reading a physical comic, going out to a comic book shop and meeting up with people every week and just having debates and discussions about what's going on in DC and Marvel and what indie comics are coming out that are great and all of that kind of thing. You can't get that with e-comics and just the feel of a comic book and seeing the amount that you have grow and grow and grow, and then eventually it gets to the point where it's like, okay, into a box of all of you, because there's too many of you. And then you get to see it grow and grow and grow all over again. You can't get that with e-comics, and it's such a good feeling. Have you read any of the new Miss Marvel comics? Yes, I love Miss Marvel. I love the new Miss Marvel comics. I think Kamala is a great character, and I can't wait till she joins the Young Avengers. That was shady. I'm sorry. I put money on her joining the Young Avengers one day, though. I'd put money on that. What are you most looking forward to in becoming Robin? Well, like, I've already been working with a trainer since the end of May. As some of you have actually noticed, I've physically changed quite a lot. And I wear quite baggy clothes in a lot of my videos, because if you didn't know, I don't actually dress how I normally dress in most of my videos. I tone it down quite a lot for you guys, and even then a lot of you say my fashion is a bit extreme. But my chest has grown so much. I love working out, and it's just like the part of becoming Robin that I'm looking forward to the most is showing you guys just how much fun working out can be, and also teaching people about the 3 different types of cosplay, because people think there's only one type of cosplay for some reason. That's cosplay for fun. That's just one of 3 core types. Let me educate all of you who are watching. So the first type of cosplay is cosplay for fun, and that's like what gets you into cosplay. It's the introductory cosplay, and you know, all cosplay is fun. But cosplay for fun is just for fun. You don't need to think, can I pull this character off, or anything like that. You just go as the character, and that's all that matters. Then there's cosplay for competition, where you do need to begin thinking, can I pull this character off? And you need to get as accurate as possible, use as high quality materials as possible, and that's so important. Cosplay for competition is, well, if you watch Heroes of Cosplay or anything like that, then you know it's competitive. And it's hard, very hard. And then there's editorial cosplay, which is the cosplay we're going to be mainly focusing on in becoming Robin, which is sort of like high fashion photo shoots in cosplay, you know, and it's all about taking scenes from reality, but you're dressed up as these characters together, and in that picture you look like wherever you're supposed to be from this comic or this movie or this video game. And I love editorial cosplay. Fortunately, I have a number of friends who are models or could be models from back when I used to model. And yeah. How long is it going to be before we get to see the Becoming Robin thing? Becoming Robin is released in October for everyone, but if you donate $1 to my Patreon, you get to see it in September. I just farted, I'm sorry. Do I like Marvel Now's Captain Marvel series? I haven't read it yet. I'm sorry. What is your favorite Tim Drake costume? I really like his first costume, I'm not gonna lie, but then I like the whole red and black post 52 thing, and I like his original Red Robin costume, then I like his new 52. He's just had good costumes, he hasn't had a bad costume, but my favorite one is probably the new 52 one, just because of the wings. The wings, I love those wings. Did I like the Madoka Magica movies, Beginning and Eternal? Yes, because I liked Madoka Magica the series, but I liked the additional scenes and things like that. Those were fun. Um, what's my favorite anime manga genre? I really like slice of life comedy. Uh, like Nichijou, Lucky Star, Minamike, those kinds of genres. I don't know. It's my favorite thing. If you cosplay a character before you do a history video of them, will you wear the cosplay for the video? No. Uh, I my history videos are very point blank, very factual. I put in a little PSA at the end, like for how you can benefit from this character or how you can benefit from this story. But it's very, and sometimes I'll say, oh, I would write it like this, or I would have done that, or I would like to see this. But in the core part of the history video, it's very much like, this is what happened, this was the cause of that, and so on and so forth. It's very rarely my opinions. There have been some that are more opinionated than others, but for the core part of it, it's not my opinions. I just try and keep my history videos very professional. And I like the format that they've got at the moment. I'm a bit frustrated because I do want to do A-list characters, but I just don't have the funds. That's why, yeah. I'm very frustrated with history videos at the moment. What were your starter Pokemon with Torchic? It was always Torchic before. What minority would you love to see a superhero be a part of that would be the most interesting? So I'm all for LGBT representation in comic books, but I'm also all for Asian hero representation. I don't think we've seen nearly enough Asian title characters. So I would like to see a drag queen Asian superhero with its own title comic. I think that would be very fun to read, honestly. I just love this idea of this glamorous woman coming in, saving the day, like helping Batman or Aquaman or someone crazy powerful. And they're like, wow, you're so powerful. Then this woman turns around and with like a deep voice is like, wow, you're welcome, and flies away. Like, I want to see a drag queen Asian hero. Someone asked about Kingdom Hearts, I think, and I enjoy Kingdom Hearts. On your gaming channel, will you play Omega Rubies? No, because I can't capture those. What's your favorite game based on a comic book? I don't like many comic book video games. I like Marvel vs. Capcom if I'm playing with friends. LGBT Prime Dragon, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans. Have you heard of the YouTuber Onision? I was around when Onision first started. Yeah. I was just around when Onision first started, and back then he was just like another funny guy, and in my mind he's just like that other funny guy I'm not really subscribed to. Would you like a jelly baby? No. I can't have sugar. There are things falling over outside my room, so I'm just gonna sing over them while I scroll up to try and find a question I haven't answered. Why do you think Batman always ends up beating Superman? Does he? Oh, yes, he does. He does a lot of the time, at least. I don't know. Kind of people want to go for the underdog. People relate to Batman more, I feel, anyway. So, that's probably why. Okay, return to those comments. Do I like Spider-Man? I've already answered that. Have I watched any of Gundam animation? I have. I'm not into mecha though. Which character do you can play a bigger what? Do you mean which character do I think can play a bigger role in their series? Um, there are a number of characters like Madame Web. She could easily pull off her own series. Yeah, I liked Mass Effect 2. I played number 1. It was okay, and number 3 I haven't played, but I heard it was really bad. So, um, what will you be expecting in the new X-Men Apocalypse movie? For it to be horrible, and then for Sony to give the rights of the X-Men back to Marvel, and then we can have X-Men versus Avengers movie. Are there any good transgender folks in comics, not drag queens? There's Danny the Street, who's a sentient transgendered street. What do you think the fanfictions about you are about? Probably something sexual. Probably something displaying me as getting kidnapped as well. I don't know. How do I remove the Fraggle colony from the basement? By playing repeats of Fraggle Rock so they look at their ancestors and then die from embarrassment. Do I like Gigi Gorgeous? I have no idea who Gigi Gorgeous is. I have an itchy nose. Raven and her brothers embody the 7 deadly sins. Which sin do you commit the most? Pride. And it's a Superman or Batman movie. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be very bad. I hope you and your fiance have a great life. Thank you. Thank you. Do you prefer magic-based characters more than others, or do you find magic more interesting? Right. So some of you may know I was raised around like real-life magic, the occult. That was just kind of what I was raised in. Some people are raised in Christianity, other people are raised in the occult, but I was encouraged to learn about world religions. So I know, like, I've read the Bible probably more than most Christians. I've talked to Buddhists. I've meditated with Buddhists, actually. That was very nice. I've talked to African shamans. I have talked to everyone of all religions. And I've just come to the conclusion of I definitely believe in the occult and I definitely believe in magic. So I find magic-based characters a lot more interesting when the magic that they're using takes from reality, like takes from actual practices that I do. Because, you know, that's nice to see. It's nice to see an accurate portrayal. Even though, you know, the effects they get is, like, insane compared to what... It's a lot more instant compared to what I normally get. Like, for me, I have to usually wait 2 days. It's like buying something online. Do I like horror games? I like horror games when I'm playing them with friends, but I will never record them because I want to keep my dignity. Which death do you like more, DC or Marvel? I like DC's death a lot more. I think she's a lot more fun. How do you think the comics would look without the influence of Jack Kirby's art style? Comics wouldn't be here today without Jack Kirby. Because Stan Lee would have had no one to steal from. Stan Lee did a lot for the comic book industry. You know, in terms of vocalizing stuff, but like, since Jack Kirby's death, everything that Stan Lee has done in terms of writing comics has been really, really bad. So there is no way that he wrote half the stuff that he claimed he did. He does not have that kind of talent. Do I play card games? I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I had a whole princess deck. So I had Princess Kirin and Princess Pakuru, and my whole deck revolved around getting them out, and I had 2 of each in my deck, and after they died, I was screwed. Do you think there is a special one between Dick Grayson and Jason Todd? It seems like they connect the most between all the Robins. Would a crossover with them work? Well, first off, Jason Todd and Tim Drake connect the most. Dick Grayson has a special bond with Damien, and then Tim Drake and Stephanie Brown and connects the second place, and the third place is Tim Drake and Jason Todd, because Tim Drake and Jason Todd complete what each other lacks. So, I don't know. So a crossover between Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, not so much. Crossover between Tim Drake and Jason Todd? Thumbs up, that would work. Isn't Mystique transgendered? Mystique is non-gendered. So she swaps her gender at will. Do we even know Starfire remembers Dick Grayson? I know she said she didn't, but then she had his clothes. Do you think she's super sad that he's dead? I don't think she cares in this continuity, honestly. I just read your fanfic. Is there fanfiction of me? Can you send it to me on Facebook? If it's real. What do you think of Robin Rises? It's not out yet, is it? No, I didn't see it last week. Why do you like Pixie from the X-Men so much? Well, first off, UK represent. She's Welsh. And next off, she's so much fun. She is such a good character. She advances in everything she does. She's got so much potential, and people just write her off as, oh, it's Pixie. She is so much fun. I don't understand why people don't like her more. I can draw very well. Would you like me to draw you with your favorite character? If you want to. Why does my nose run and my foot smell? Because your body is confused and your nose should be smelling and your foot should be running. Everyone keeps recommending Mr. Bresden. And everyone keeps recommending him to me and saying, "Oh, you two will be good friends." But I don't know. I don't make friends very easily. I haven't seen his channel. I know he used to be Christian, because you just said it. I will say, I have a philosophy of I don't insult any religion other than Christianity, because Christianity needs to be taken down about 10 pegs. So I will make fun of Christianity until the day I die. Or until I feel like another religion needs to be taken down a couple of pegs. Wait, what? You're married? No, I'm engaged. Do you watch One Piece? No. Which color lantern would you most want to be? Green. Because I can get my own title then and be the star. What are you drinking? Just orange. The color. So many questions. Why did you make a history of Sonic? Because I wanted to make a history of Sonic. What superpowers would you want? Energy, projection, and manipulation. Meaning I could do anything with that energy. So I could use it to fly, I could use it to shoot lasers, I could use it to heal. Just be the most OP mofo in comics. Do you like Kazumi Magica? I've already said I do. Do you think it would make a good anime? No. The Puella Magi franchise just needs to have one more movie to set Rebellion to right, and then just be done. Just be done. What do you think about the current state of gay representation in comics? It was going good, and now it's like there, but needs to. I don't know. There's like a glass ceiling to break. There's money to make, and we need to speed it up because I can't move at this pace. Sometimes it's hard to find the words to say, but I'll go ahead and say them anyway. Forget your balls and grow a pair of tits. If any of you know that song, it's going to be hilarious, but if you don't know that song, you're going to be very confused right now. I'm sorry. If I had the choice to be in one comic, which would it be? Whichever one I'm writing at that time, because I'm going to be writing myself into so many comics. What's your opinion on the Fantastic Four reboot? I read number 1 and then didn't buy anymore. But so do you think the Iron Giant should be Superman? I think Superman should be Superman. Out of Superboy, X-23, or Wonder Girl before the New 52, whose power would you rather have? Superboy. How do you classify A-list or B-list characters? I use common sense. When you say raised by the occult and magic, what kind of magic are you talking about? Like influence, probability, or cards, or what? All of it. Using belief as a tool to manipulate outcomes and events. You know, if you can think of a type of magic that's been done somewhere around the world, I've probably studied it. And I've probably tried it more than once. I've been reading tarot cards since I was 5 years old. I was brought up by a spiritual healer. You know, so all kinds of magic. I've done it. Why are you afraid of virtual water? I don't know why I'm afraid of virtual water, but everyone who's seen my gaming channel knows for sure that I poo myself every time I have to go into virtual water in Wind Waker. So many questions. Who's my favorite singer? Oh, Jesus Christ. Lily Allen at the moment for singer, but then for like, they have a song out, probably Manila Luzon. Have I heard URL Badman by Lily Allen? I have, and you know the guy at the beginning of the video who's typing? That's actually my friend Rob. So I know, like, I knew people in that video, and it was really weird the first time I watched it, because I was just like, wait, that's Rob! Rob, did you know you're in this video? And he was like, yeah, Faust. Yeah, I did. If you got your own comic as a hero in the Bat family named Cardinal, would you go to the Teen Titans or would I do my own thing? I always want to do my own thing. What lav model do you use? It's a Sony, the box isn't there anymore. It's a Sony something that cost me £500. So it's an expensive lav, but it was worth it. It was worth it, because my audio quality before was shocking. Do you consider Terry McGinnis Bruce's son? No. Hey Faust, have you seen Ruby? Yeah, I don't like it. I think when it first came out, on my personal channel, I was doing episode-by-episode reviews. And I was just giving my honest opinion, and my opinion wasn't great. I was saying, like, there is some good stuff going for it, but mostly it's just nothing happens, and nothing good happens when it does happen. So, like, I gave up watching it after episode, like, 7, So it just wasn't good, in my opinion. It's okay for other people to like it, but for me, it just wasn't good. So, wait, so are you pagan? No, I'm not pagan. I'm a chaos magician. I believe in all beliefs. I manipulate, I use belief as a tool. I'm not pagan. Just because someone practices magic does not make them pagan. Like, that was like when I first told people I was I was a chaos magician in my Felix Mentalo video. People said to me, "Wait, so you're a Satanist?" No, I'm a chaos magician, not a Satanist. I don't. The Christian Satan is the only thing that I would just say is like the biggest bunch of bullshit ever. If you were writing for DC before the Titans existed, would you have made the Teen Titans before the creators did? No. I don't know, because I don't know how my mind would work without that level of influence. What do I think about V for Vendetta? It's a good comic. Do I like Legend of Korra? No. I didn't enjoy the Legend of Korra. I liked the Legend of Aang so much that I was never going to like the Legend of Korra. I just don't like Legend of Korra. It's just, I loved Last Airbender so much. There was so much good in it, so much going for it that I related to. And Legend of Korra comes along, and so much of it for me was just like, so what? You've said that you can't do the history of anime, but what about doing reviews and recaps? I've considered that, but I think the majority of people come to this channel for comic book stuff, and I'm always worried that people just won't be interested in the anime stuff. And I know more anime stuff I do, the more people that like both will come, but there's just not enough crossover at the moment to justify me doing more anime content. I'm slowly introducing more, but yeah. Yeah. I know you like both DC and Marvel, but if you had to choose, which do you prefer? No. Hey Fast, if you could write any comic, what would it be? Like, it's the dream to write for the Titans. Like, I'd always love to write my original stuff, and if I had to choose between like the Titans or my original stuff for DC, I would do my own original thing. But the Titans, I would love to write that. Do you like Family Guy? I sometimes watch Family Guy, and every time I have, I've enjoyed it. Who's your favorite character? Meg. What aspect of the Christian religion do you think needs to be changed or put down? The fact that it's an organized religion just grits me up the wrong way, and I know it's not the only organized religion, but I also feel like at the moment there's this mentality that Christianity has, and that a number of Christians have, that it's like, oh, we can't allow that because it's against the Christian beliefs or teachings. Well, guess what? Not everyone's Christian. Don't expect everyone to follow Christian rules when not everyone is Christian. So long as they're not hurting anyone with what they're doing, then just let them do their own thing. Jesus Christ, it's not that hard. I don't understand how we're in 2014 and how gay marriage isn't legal in all of America yet. I don't understand that. And the only excuse that people can come up with is, well, it's against Christianity. Not everyone in America is Christian. It's not that hard to get your head around. What if a new religion was made where you had to be the same sex to get married? What then? Because Christians would just be oppressing those people, which is against the American Constitution. So by law, I guess. Christianity would just have to be dissolved. I have just created a master plan. No, I wouldn't do that. But do you see my big issue here? I hope all of you that see my big issue, that not everyone is Christian. We shouldn't be Christians should not expect everyone to live by their rules. It's not that hard. Would you ever think about teaching chaos magic? No, it's not something to be taught. It's something that you find for yourself. And it comes to you if you're supposed to do it. Would you ever want the V for Vendetta universe to cross over with the DC universe? No. No. Did you like the last Airbender movie? No. No. Actually, I was watching it hoping it was so bad it was good, but it was just so bad it was bad. But I was watching it with my friend Emma, who's AmiRose311 on YouTube, and we were both just laughing. That part where they do a bit of DDR and then that rock moves, that is funny. That is funny. Have you heard of Boku no Pico? Oh, that nice romantic anime between the man and the 8-year-old. Yeah, I've watched Boku no Pico. I watched it with a couple of friends. Oh, I love your hair. Is it natural? Yeah. Do you like Iron Fist, and will you get Disney Infinity 2.0 for the Marvel stuff? I considered it. I had a brief lucid moment where I was considering it, but I don't know. Probably not. I still haven't got Skylanders. I really want to get Skylanders, but I still haven't got it. Oh, let's check Facebook and Twitter for any questions, because we haven't checked Facebook and Twitter yet. Oh my god, we have 3 messages. Okay, so let's check my messages. Have you watched the anime Soul Eater? Yes. What are my thoughts on it? Yes. Have I seen Fullmetal Alchemist? Yes. What are my thoughts on it? Didn't like it. Why did Cyclops kill Professor X in Avengers vs. X-Men? Too soon for me to answer that question. Read Avengers vs. X-Men. It's at your local Barnes & Noble if you're in America, or Waterstones if you're in the UK, or if you're in neither of those, go to www.amazon.co.uk where you can buy it. If you were to change the ending of a certain comic, which would you change and how? That's a very spur-of-the-moment thing, if we're talking DC and Marvel with their universe, because a character's death can affect loads of things around it, so it'd have to be that week I'm feeling that way, because usually I come around and I'm like, oh, okay, that character had to die. What are my theories on the next Robin? It's just going to be Damian. I hope. Okay, now let's check these. Refresh. How will Damian Wayne come back? With some couture dresses. Well, you just had a Glasgow Comic Con. I was wondering what your opinion on the Scottish comic industry is. I don't know much about the Scottish comic book industry, I'm going to be honest. I haven't lived in Scotland, although I'm Scottish, but I've never lived in Scotland. That's confusing for you, all of you. But I don't know. I think it's probably the same as the English one, because it's kind of the same country, but not at the moment. I hope Scotland votes for independence. But at the moment, no opinions. Okay, Twitter. No tweets. Cool. Okay. Which tab did I have? Okay. What's the funniest moment in comics that you've ever read? Actually, it's from my own comic, not to sound egotistical. But so I'm writing this comic at the moment. I'm looking for an artist, but I thought I found one last week, but I didn't. But I've got a deleted part that I was really sad I had to get rid of, where there is this one character who's new to the world of heroes, and this veteran hero. This veteran hero is taking this new character to like the big hero hub of this world, and the character that's new to the world of heroes really doesn't want to be there. He looks at the car and says, "Oh, what's this? The supermobile, the super fast car," and he just goes on with this list for ages of like just making fun of just superhero names for cars. And this veteran hero slowly turns his head around to this guy and just goes, "It's called the car." And they both slowly get in and drive away in silence. And for some reason I was writing that and I was in tears, like going, "I'm a comedy genius." Am I excited for the Clarion comics? I am, but they're probably going to be god-awful. Like, I say that because I want them to be good, but it's Clarion. It's Clarion. Yeah. The stream doesn't load for me. Is this a problem for anyone else? Oh, well, even if I answered that. Would you like to see a movie featuring death? They actually almost made Death the High Cost of Living a movie, but as far as I'm aware, it was cancelled. Do you plan on doing a Kid Omega cosplay? You could definitely pull it off. No, I'm not doing a Kid Omega cosplay because Comic Book Girl 19 does a Kid Omega cosplay every day. How was it coming out? I'm assuming you did have to come out. I didn't have to come out, I'm going to be honest. I did come out, but it was more for my mum than for me. And how my coming out was my mum was, I was venting out this girl that I was frustrated with in school. And my mum says, "Oh, because do you want to be her boyfriend?" And I was like, "What? No, Mum." And she went, "Oh, why? Is she not your type of girl?" And I said, "No, Mum, I don't like girls." And she went, "Oh, so do you like boys?" And I said, "Yes, Mum, I'm gay, 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 gay." And I did that from the entrance of the supermarket back to our car, unpacked the bags at like all of our groceries into the car, the whole time going gay, 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 go, 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 gay. And as soon as we both sat in the car, my mum just kind of looked over at me and said, "So you're gay? Well, just so you know, I'm okay with that." And then we started talking about what kind of boys we like. So, I'd be asking how Clarion could give me powers. Will I be at San Diego Comic-Con? Can you pay for my ticket and my flights? Because if so, yeah. But if you can't, then no. I will be next year because of Becoming Robin. Do I see some type of magic that I know in comics? Yeah, some. There's definitely a lot of sigils going on in comics, like, which is like very basic magic, but still, it's in there. And then there's like some old rituals going on. There's been a couple of things in Constantine. Well, not Constantine, it was Hellblazer back then. There's been a couple of things in Hellblazer, but generally a lot of Hellblazer stuff is just generally looking occulty. Do tarot cards work? Yeah. They've worked every time I've used them. I think you just need to first off, you need to have a person that can actually read tarot cards beyond like this card means this card means that. A true person that a person that can actually read tarot cards has to have like a connection to their tarot cards where you can actually hear the cards talking in your mind and see the cards moving. Yeah, mine have been doing that for about, let's say, 10 years for me now, and I've gone through about 3 decks. But you also need to have a very strong connection with your deck. Like, if you're changing your tarot card deck every 2 weeks, of course, they're not going to trust you. Yeah. Have you been reading Loki, Agent of Asgard? No. Don't forget to throw glitter! Do I think this new Teen Titans will work, and how? I don't know. My thoughts on Doctor Strange. He's an alright character. Like, being honest, I've gone off him a bit, and I will tell all of you why, in the hopes that the right person that this is aimed at is watching. So someone, this individual's gonna remain nameless, actually bought me a few months ago. This person started messaging me, I think it was back in March, and they were like, hey, you've got a Nightwing costume on your Amazon wishlist. Can you do a Doctor Strange video in exchange for me buying this Nightwing costume? I was like, well, I can't guarantee that I will get this Doctor Strange video out anytime soon. Minimum, it would be 5 months. But I will tell you that I'm working on a Doctor Strange video anyway. You have that knowledge. You can buy me this Nightwing costume if you want to. And then they were like, sure, I'll buy you a Nightwing costume. And then this process in the Doctor Strange video is very, very slow because there's a lot of comics to get featuring him. So it was, it was a bit of a slow process. And he messaged me again a few times, and I just kind of messaged him back because he was nice enough to get me something off my Amazon wish list. And then he started harassing me, religiously. He started using my own religion against me, and I could never get peace from him. But I was like, I'll just leave this person be for now. And then I could never get peace from them, to the point where I felt constantly harassed, and I was scared to post on my own Facebook page. So I got to the point where I just had to ban them from my Facebook page, and just hope that they leave me alone, which they fortunately have now, because I haven't seen them around my YouTube recently. So that's that. I'm sad that I had to come to that, though, because that was a nice thing, buying me a Nightwing costume, but you don't say it don't matter. You say it don't matter, but I want to know, how did you dye your hair? Why did I dyed it to look like Harley Quinn's hair? How did I do it? I did it with hair dye. And how do I make it look so natural? Because these are colors that actually suit me. Everyone's got colors that actually suit them, and I've always looking as fake as possible. If you haven't noticed, my face doesn't look exactly natural. Do you read the Avatar Last Airbender manga? If you mean comic books, because it's not a manga. No. Which Robin is your favourite, Tim Drake? Will there be a history of Rogue, Catwoman, and Namor? No, I've already said I don't do A-list characters until I reach the Patreon funding goal. I should probably make a video about that. I can't make a video about it until after Wednesday. Fuck, marry, kill. Dick Grayson, Terry McGinnis, Elixir. Oh, okay. There are two characters in there I'm actually very attracted to. So I would kill Terry McGinnis. And fuck Dick Grayson, or be fucked by. And marry Elixir, so I could live forever. This always seems to happen with YouTubers, that I didn't think I was coming across as an arsehole. Okay. I didn't understand that I was coming across as an arsehole, but thank you for pointing that out in a very constructive way. If Sony and Disney switched rights, Spider-Man could be in the Avengers and Spectacular Spider-Man could come back. Yeah, but then we wouldn't have the... Well, no, because if Sony and Disney switched rights, we wouldn't have the Avengers movies anymore, so Spider-Man couldn't be in the Avengers. What's your opinion on the new Fantastic Four movie? I don't really watch the Fantastic Four movies. Yeah. Did I like Frozen? I enjoyed Frozen. The singing was a bit much in the beginning, but then once we got past that, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a bit overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel it's a bit overrated. That being said, I still enjoyed it. It's good. It's just Brave was better. You know, I really liked Brave. Um, if you were given Beast Boy when he was being made and asked what color would you make him, which color would you choose? Because he was made way, way, way back with the original Doom Patrol. You know, back then, because of the coloration of the Doom Patrol, it would have made sense to have him green. With the direction that the New 52 was going in, they wanted him linked to the Red and therefore Animal Man, and it made sense to have him as Red. Namor versus Aquaman. I prefer Namor as a person, but Aquaman is a lot of fun as well. You know, they're both very good characters. I like that Namor looks scary in a Speedo. Oh, the person that was harassing me in 7 Normandy wasn't a YouTuber. It was just like a fan. Um, well, Zephyr, I will tell you my thoughts on Sailor Moon Crystal, as you keep asking. I don't really have any thoughts on Iron Fist, but I do have thoughts on Sailor Moon Crystal. And my thoughts on Sailor Moon Crystal is that it's amazing. I really enjoyed Sailor Moon Crystal. People are like complaining it's too different from the 90s cartoon. Well, I've got the Sailor Moon manga in a box somewhere, and let me tell you, it's so much like the manga. I enjoy the manga so much. I watch almost every episode of Sailor Moon about once a year. Um, but I think I'm just gonna love Crystal so much. I think it's so pretty. Um, since I know you like Avatar, what bending at water? You once said the New 52 was Superboy the West in the beginning. It was. Why? It was just badly written, predictable. There was no character depth. It was two-dimensional. Then they tried doing stuff to shock you, but the shocks are always like, so what? So it got better because they stopped writing characters as everyone pay attention to Superboy, and they started writing characters as people. Um, do you like Injustice: Gods Among Us? I have it on Steam. I haven't really played it yet. If you could pick one Titan to have its own spin-off TV series, who would you pick? I don't know. I like the team dynamic of all the Titans. It depends. I'd like to see a Danny the Street TV show. Yeah, Crazy Fun TV movie guy. You and about 700 people have all pointed out the way that I say Constantine is wrong. But if you haven't noticed, I don't give two shits. um, I've known that for ages. I've read all the comics. I made a history on John Constantine. Obviously, I read the comics. I just say it the way I say it because I say it differently. You said that Beast Boy is being linked to Animal Man is a big honor. Why is that? Because Animal Man is one of the best, like the Grant Morrison run on Animal Man was one of the best written series in comic books to this date. One of the best series that I have ever seen. It's amazing. Are there any B-list characters you think deserve to become an A-lister? There are a couple of characters that are already bordering on it, like Dick Grayson. He's sort of like teetering on it. Yeah, it's England. I don't know how dark it looks on camera though. Hold up, let me. Oh, I'm gonna turn the light on. Hold up just a second. I look like I'm wearing all the eyeliner. I'm wearing no eyeliner. Hold up. Hold up. I can't. Oh. Oh, my eyes look really big. They always look big. My lips look really red. They always look red. Have you seen the anime Kill la Kill? No, I haven't seen it yet. People keep mentioning it. It just doesn't seem like my type of thing. If you could have two underrated heroes team up, who would you pick? Squirrel Girl and Blindfold. I wouldn't actually have that team up in a million years, but it could be interesting. I don't know. That would be a very interesting dynamic. Because Squirrel Girl's all over the place, and I don't think Blindfold would really like to read her mind. Oh, that actually, the more I think about that, the more I want to see it. Do you think the original sidekicks from the 60s Teen Titans, like Donna Troy and Garth, will return? I think Donna Troy's going to return very soon. Can we see your fiance, maybe? No. I'm never going to show my fiance on camera. This is because I don't... He is an actor. And I don't want him to ever become Faust's fiance or that person that Faust is with. And if we were to ever break up, I don't want any of you to know who he is on a level to go and talk to him about it. I just want our relationship to be a thing that is there, and if it ends, you guys get to know it ends, but I don't want any fine details being known, such as his face. Have I seen the animated shorts for Lenore? Yes, I have. I love Lenore. So, do you still think Cube is adorable? So long as he doesn't ask me for a contract, he is the most sweetest thing ever. Do you think they'll do a movie of the series? Do you think they'll do the movie or a series of the Superior Spider-Man? I don't know. I don't know what the rights behind that would be, actually. I don't know if they could. That'll be interesting. Any big plans for it's rather effective? For it just to continue being rather effective? How did you come up with your username? So this is really dumb. Pokemon X and Y had just come out, and I was like, I'm going to make a YouTube channel that's all about comics and video games, and maybe I'll do some Let's Plays. And I proceeded not to do any Let's Plays on this channel, so that was stupid. But I was like, what's something that both comic fans and video game fans know about? I know, it's super effective, and yeah. My homeboy says that you're flamboyant. What? Because you wave your hands around a lot. I talk with my hands. So We can Google your boyfriend's face. Can you? You don't know his name, so I don't see how you could. Should Static Shock join the Teen Titans in this new comic book? Maybe. I don't know. Should any, I don't know how this new series of the Titans is going to be written. So I've got no idea what should or shouldn't happen. I do know that it should be about emotions and interactions and not friggin' actions. And I know it shouldn't be predictable. And that's all I know. And for some reason, my microphone's deciding it just wants to keep going up in volume. Levels. Yep. How did I know? Okay. Will you upload this as a video? It did it automatically last time, so I'm hoping it does it automatically this time. I'm sorry, I'm just stretching my knee. It was leg day today, so been a bit of pain. But yeah, it did it automatically last time, so I'm hoping it does it automatically this time. I just noticed there's a Charmander in the background sort of clinging on for dear life. Your thoughts on Miles Morales' Spider-Man TV series, considering that is a... I don't read Ultimate Universe stuff, so... will you be doing Let's Plays in the future? I'm already doing Let's Plays on my YouTube channel, It's Rather Effective. Do you have any pets? I think they are cute. I love pets. Come back on Wednesday for more information about that, and that's all I'm going to say. Do you like BBC Sherlock? No, because I don't like Stephen Moffat. What kind of rituals do you use for your chaos magic? Oh, that's a big question. Mostly I do stuff for... It's going to sound corny, but I mostly do stuff for healing, for helping people around me in my life and stuff like that. But then I also do stuff for self-gain, sort of bring finance into my life and stuff like that, because everyone, for some reason, thinks... Every YouTuber, for some reason, there is this misconception that if you do YouTube full-time, then you are very rich. That's not true. That is not true. By the time I pay off all my debt at the end of every month, I've got no money. So, yeah. YouTubers aren't rich. We're some of the poorest people out there. Do I like Logo? As in Logo TV? I love Logo. RuPaul's Drag Race. Do I watch Legend of Korra? I've already answered that. Weird question. Why did you dye your hair? I've already answered that like a million times. Yeah, guys, if I don't answer your question, keep in mind that I either just didn't read it, or I probably already answered it, and once this goes up as like one big video, just go back to the beginning and watch from there. Why is this going up in volume constantly? I don't understand. I don't understand. Wait. I don't understand. I'm just gonna leave it. Just gonna leave it. It can go up. It can go up. We're having technical stuff going on over here, guys. When did I start reading comics? I had to have been about 3. It was very, very young, I know that. And the first series I started with was Grant Morrison's run on the Doom Patrol, actually. Yeah, it was Grant Morrison's run on the Doom Patrol. And I didn't understand what was going on, but I was, like, sort of captured by it. And obviously, as I grew up, I just kept reading more and more comics whenever I could get them. And then when I became old enough to understand that they were a monthly thing, I started getting the Impulse and Robin comics every month. And then I started, and then Young Justice came along, which was a big deal for me. And then the old Titans series was given to me, and I discovered the Titans from there, and I was like, so yeah, it all just kind of evolved from Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol when I was very, very young. That was a very good comic to start out with. A child should not have been reading that, but my parents never gave two shits. Happy birthday, Tim's twin brother Tom. That was a much harder sentence to say than I expected. Do you prefer anime or manga? Generally, I will say I prefer the anime because I love comics so much. And spend so much time dedicated to like fictional universes. Reading a manga can be suddenly a bit jarring. But I don't know. Aren't the Doom Patrol really messed up psychologically? Kind of. Like, they've all got powers that are really, really cool that you would have to be really fucked up to want to have. Like, who would want to be a brain in a tin can? Like, do I think Inertia will come back in the New 52 continuity? I hope so. Do I have any hidden talents? I am very good at editorial photo shoots, but obviously I can't show you that right now. Why do you think Stephen Moffat is homophobic? He has said a number of homophobic and sexist things in interview and through his writing, and he degrades women a lot, and he degrades gay people a lot, and he's just not a good writer. He's good if you're like a straight, white, 8-year-old boy. I noticed a blonde wig in the background. Is that going to be used in the future? It was used in the past for all of my early videos. All of my videos up till about March. Yeah, from November till about early March. It was in every one of the videos. And that's because my hair was so damaged I couldn't do this with it. And I didn't really feel like showing my hair on camera. There's 2 videos where my natural hair was shown on camera before then, where it was like, casual comics on the Kindle, which is a terrible thing to do. And my History of Dazzler video, which I'm thinking of just redoing. Which is your favourite Wonder Lasso? Donna's Silver Glowing Lasso? Pre-Flash. I love Cassie's Lasso. I love the Lariat from the New 52 as well, but Cassie's Lightning Lasso is so good. What does your hair look like right when you wake up? A lot like this, actually, because I put so much hairspray in this. I already answered questions in Grayson number 1. Okay, guys, we have literally got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. Four minutes. Make it good questions. Go. I'm going to refresh the page because that was a bit of an anticlimax. What are your thoughts on the new DC comic shows? Like, I don't like the idea of the Flash TV show. I've already answered that early in this. What do you like about DC and Marvel's differences? I just think it's more variety, and, you know, variety is the spice of life, or whatever the saying goes. You know, you get to read more, and You get to read more. You get to learn more lessons in a very fun way. So, what's my favorite anime? At the moment, it's Nichijou. What do I think about the new 52 Wally West? I think it was stupid. He had an iconic look. I don't care if they're trying to do more racial representation. They don't need to change a character with an iconic look. Most of my family is black as well. And even my family members that are black that have said that it was a fucking stupid thing. What do I think will happen in Harley Quinn Future's End? I don't know. It's not out yet. Wasn't Bartos similar to Inertia right down to the green in his costume? Yeah, he was. That bothered me a lot. What are my predictions for Batman Eternal? It's gonna go on forever, as in the title. Eternal! Ah! I don't know what that was, I'm sorry. Hope you are doing good on your workouts. I am. My trainer's actually really... My trainer looked at me and thought I'd be a slow gainer. It's turned out that I'm a fast gainer, and I've surprised both of us. So... Why do you call him your fiancé? Is he just your boyfriend or you're actually getting married? No, we're getting married, meaning a fiancé. You know, I proposed about a year and a half ago. You know, would show you him, but he lives. There's an ocean in the way. An ocean and quite a few states. About 49 states. Do you think Dick will come back to life? Someone is behind on comics. Well, what do you think of the Hulk movies and games? I'm not a fan of the Hulk anyway. And then a Future's Flash title, there is a black teenager on the cover. Is it Bart Allen or Impulse? No. What? No, Bart Allen was in the Teen Titans. You know what he looks like. What do you think about the new 52 making Wonder Woman Zeus's daughter? I have no real opinions on it. It's like she's always been linked to Greek mythology. Why is it the main audience don't like about Aquaman? It's only people that don't know comics that don't like Aquaman, honestly. People that actually read comics and know Aquaman kind of like him. So I'm going to refresh the page one more time, and the first good question I see is going to be the one I answer. For some reason, I don't know why my microphone's deciding it needs to turn itself up. There. Who's your real life role model? I don't have a real life role model. Why do you sound so sad when I don't sound sad? If I do, it's not intentional. I am moving to America to get married, but it's a lot of paperwork and a lot. Like, I can't just go up and go. Like, my fiance lives in California, so that's obviously where I'd be going to get married. Okay. Why do you hate the new 52? Where the fuck did you get that impression? I've said I like the new 52 a lot. I've said there's a lot of bad things in it, but I said there's a lot of good things. How long do you think the new 52 will last? It's the new continuity. We're not going back to the old continuity, so forever. Okay. Real last question this time. I'm going to refresh the page. First question I see. Gonna answer. Okay. What power would you hate to have? Mind reading, if I couldn't control it. Because mind reading is a terrifying thing. Because you might hear things that you shouldn't be hearing. And once you hear something like that, you can't take it back. Yeah, it is, but my fiance is American, so. No, I hate the World Cup. Okay, no more questions. I said. Okay. Okay, no more questions, guys. No more questions. Okay, that's where we are ending. There are no more questions. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. Remember to thumbs up, subscribe, do all of the socials, and I will see you all at the next 10,000 subscribers. So 40,000 subs Livestream AMA. And hopefully we can do this even faster. We did it in a month and a half, which was insane. Maybe this time we could do it through 1 month. Yeah. See if we can get to 40,000 in 1 month. That would be insane. Like I said before, because this is my fucking live stream, so I'm going to promote what I want. If you want to get 1 month early access to Becoming Robin, which is going to be released to the public in October, but if you have 1 month early access, you can watch it in September. You just need to donate $1 to my Patreon. $1, and you get 1 month early access to a huge year-long series. And with that dollar, it will actually go to helping to fund the $17,000, which will be put towards me making bigger and better history videos for A-list characters, so I can do characters like Aquaman, Superman, Catwoman, Jean Grey, anything that you could imagine, I would be doing it. Like, nothing would be off limits. So, yeah. That's it. That's it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming. Bye-bye.